My first job in America, I was a dishwasher. I think I was making like $8 an hour. $8 an hour.
Good money.
Hiyo ni pesa kidogo. America unatumwa vibaya. Lakini Kenya is a lot of money.
Yes.
Because that's right now with the current exchange rate, it's maybe around 1,300 per hour. Now you're doing 8 hours. You're doing 40 hours in a week.
Hey.
So you might think it's a lot of money, but now your apartment in unaishi is $1,500. Ile gari unaendesha inakunywa mafuta na maybe hata iko na payment plan. And you need other stuff like shopping, you need to pay your bills. It's less, so you need more. So I had to look for a second job. Then nikiwa kwa njia naona trucks, and I'm like, okay. Because for me, I wanted a job where I'm serving people. I love talking to people. I love service delivery. The school I went to, they told me they don't think I can be allowed. They have never seen anybody who is a short stature who is a truck driver. Because I told them, if I can drive this car, why can't I drive this truck? And it's an automatic like this car. Mi nasemaga, unaona ningeanza kujidharau, I'm short. Mungu mbona aliniumba hivi? Nashinda kwa nyumba, mama yangu ndiye ananitekea care. I don't want to go out. I'm fearing like what people will say. That one did not stop me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, hata kuwa mrefu aje, watu watakuangalia tu differently. For me, it's people who remind me I'm short when I see them taking pictures behind my back. But for me, I'm just a normal person. I am doing my own things.
So trust the process. One day your life is gonna change. Keep on believing. You will be better than before. So trust the process.
Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Inspire Global. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Now, when my guest today sent me a message, I immediately went to his profile and I saw him driving these huge trucks, and I knew there has to be an inspirational story behind what he's doing in America. So when he got to Kenya, the first conversation I really wanted was to have this one so that he can be able to inspire you guys. And you know what we always do on today's conversation, you take your notebook, you take your pen, because at the end of the day, I will need you to share what you've learned on today's conversation on the comment section. And of course, before I let him introduce himself, I have to say thank you so much to our amazing partners at Kings Developers Limited. Before I even tell you about Kings, because you've heard about them now on the platform, if you've invested with them or you are planning to invest with them, I really need your feedback. My email is right there, because I've always said I want to continue bringing credible brands to you. But in case you are hearing about them for the very first time, it's a real estate company, very ISO certified, very credible, and they have affordable houses for you. Na mi usema, the best part about Kings is that they cater for everyone. So if you are looking for something near 4 million, a medium range, ama hapa uko kwa 13 million, 28 million, and you have the money, guys, go get yourself a home at Kings Developers Limited, and don't forget to tell them that I sent you. And of course, ndio hiyo holiday sasa inakaribia, watu mshaenda Soul Fest, sijui munaenda wapi. I want to remind you, on the 16th of December, tafadhali twendeni to support nani? Crazy Kena. Ndio hizo details hapo. I always say when I love events, I'll always support them, and that's not an ad. Na sasa acha ni introduce guest wetu. Tulikuwa tu tumekaa hapa tukapata wanakula na timu yake, wakatuambia Lino mjeni kanyama kamoja. So Mr. History Mob, let me just introduce him so that he can be able to inspire us na story yake. Bro, mambo.
Hi, poa sana Lynn.
What he do, what he does.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is. Don't start.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Another day, another dollar. What's cracking in the hood?
What's cracking?
Yeah, ni wanasemaga huko.
Man, unaweza ni change haraka hivyo.
Yeah.
What's cracking?
What's cracking in the hood?
You good, bro?
Yeah, me, I'm good. Welcome.
Thank you so
Welcome,
much,
yeah.
even for inviting us
Yes.
to this beautiful place.
Yes.
Tell my people your name.
My name is Joakim,
Yes.
Mwangi Wagoi.
Yeah.
I'm a father of one.
Yay.
Famously, they know me as Katuosis, the truck guy, because naendesha zile matruck kubwa kubwa huko US.
Yes.
It's a long story since I got there.
Yeah.
What else do you want me to know?
Anything.
I'm a businessman.
Yes.
I'm an actor. I do everything. I love life.
You love life.
I love life.
Yeah. Let me ask you, why did you reach out to our platform and request us to let you inspire people with your story?
You know, everybody has their own story.
Yeah.
And not everybody will be inspired by just one story.
Yes.
So maybe mine will inspire somebody who was not maybe inspired by another story. So that's why I requested you to come. We share the story.
Yeah.
And we inspire people because this is all what this platform does.
Yes.
And you really do a good job.
Oh, I
you
appreciate
do a
it.
good job.
I know you are still jet lagged. So
I know.
Thank you for
Yes.
making time.
Yeah, it was a long flight. And I came with a British airline.
Yes.
So it was Houston, London, Nairobi.
Yeah.
Very long flight.
Yes.
Yeah, but I thank God.
Yeah. You are dad of one.
Yeah, I'm a dad of one. She's 7 now. Her name is Rahab Wangoi, my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she is everything. Yeah.
She's everything.
Yeah, I'm happy to be her father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you making time, really.
Yeah.
I know your journey was long.
Yeah.
So take it away. Inspire us if we are to ask,
Yeah.
going way back
Yeah.
before we got here. Man,
Yeah.
you drive really cool trucks.
Yeah.
Paka ukatuma ni change mind. I feel like I want to move from a G-Wagon now to a,
To a big truck.
To a big truck. But
Yeah.
you really inspired me, even when I saw all these nice videos, even on TikTok, man. You know, so if you could take us way back to life, what you've been through, also how did we get where we are today, so that my audience can be able to pick a thing or 10 from your story.
Yeah. So I come from a very small village in Thika East. It's called Ndula. So it's a village you cannot even hear it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's in Kilimambogo in Thika East. I was born when you have to graduate from nursery school. Sisi hatukuwa na kindergarten then. You had to lift your hand and touch your ear. Even today I can't touch it.
Come on now.
But when I was going to class 1, the head teacher then said, wewe hujafika miaka, because he thought I was still a kid. Because I couldn't even touch hata leo siwezi fikia.
Yeah.
So but I was the first one in that class which was graduating to class 1. So but I had to show him like, hey, I'm here to study, I'm here to learn. And all these people, they were behind me in the exam. So show me my classroom. All right. So I went to my primary school. I mean, I grew up with other kids. Then I was a little bit tiny because everybody was tiny. A class 1 child is tiny. But when now they are growing up, 2nd class, 3rd class, sasa wanaanza kukuacha. That's when now you realize, oh, there's something. I don't want to say there's a problem. There's something which is different than
from other people.
Yeah, so it took a long time. My mom took me to hospital, different hospitals, you know. Hey, doctor, my boy is not growing tall. What is happening? But after a few tests here and there, because here they don't really know much about dwarfism condition, the doctor was saying, the boy is fine. He can walk. He has sane mind. He can laugh. He can cry. He's okay. The boy is good.
So mom was taking you around.
Yeah.
And dad?
No, I did not grow with a dad. So I don't have a dad in my life. So my mom has been, you know, a single parent.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was it. So I knew. I went with what the doctor said. The boy is fine. I'm okay. So, tungangane. So, definitely it was a little bit hard sometimes because these boys, they're too big. You can't even fight them. So you give them their way. All right?
Yes.
It's been hard for me like the whole of my life. Sometimes I have to give people way. So that, because they are more, you know, physically stronger than me. So that has been the most challenging time. And also height challenge now. Yeah, but, you know, that was childhood. So growing up now as a young adult, going to high school, now that was another level now. So in high school, I remember my first day in high school, it was a nightmare, because when I got there, the principal really liked me. She actually made some special meal for me that day with my mom, because she was happy I joined the school. It's called Ngoliba. It's a local day school in our area.
Yeah.
So, but what changed is now I went to the classroom. Kufika kwa class, I found my new schoolmates, classmates. They were there. They all new in the school, so they don't know much what is happening. They've seen me, a short guy, amewekwa pale mbele. But now during break time, my first break in high school, the whole school came to our class. Nobody went to play. Nobody went for porridge.
Yes.
They all came to the class to look, just stare at me. Like the bell rang for them to go back. Everybody was in our class.
Staring at you.
Yes. I was shocked. I was like, I'm not used to this. Why am I different? Why are they even staring at me? It was hard. I was feeling like I need to go back home and I don't come back here
In
again.
that school again.
But then I was like, why are they looking at me like this? Ama walikuwa nafikiria nimekuja tu, ni mtoto amekuja kucheza, alafu arudi nyumbani na mama yake. But the principal did a very good thing. He called the assembly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he introduced me to them now. And he told them they should respect me, they should take me as one of their own.
Wow.
And now the life changed. Of course, that week was different, because there are some who they have to come and check, kala kajamaa,
Come on, Joakim.
But that did not push me back.
Yes.
I did not, my head was high,
Good.
because I knew these people, they're just tall. Everything else they have, I have.
Got it.
I have. Yeah, it's only height challenge.
Yes.
So my brains are like theirs, my heart, my soul, my spirit. Maybe even my spirit is even stronger than them.
Yes.
So I got it.
Good.
So tungangane.
Yeah.
So you make sure you take advantage of where advantage it is, because there's some places you'll be left out. So kama ni games, watu wanaenda games, una make sure unajieka hapo karibu na watu wa kwenda kufanya first aid, hata kama ufanyi. Hapo kwa sababu you cannot get a chance to go and play for the school.
Yes.
So the only time I was participating for the school was like drama festival. But now soccer, I don't know, basketball, no, I couldn't. But life was good in high school. Dating wasichana wadogo hiyo time.
Oh, come on now.
Sasa majamaa, mtu anakuja anakujanganya tu demu hivyo. Unasema sasa huyu ameninyang'anya demu juu mimi ni mfupi. So ilikuwa ni challenge. It was a challenge by the way.
Walikuwa unaona wakienda tu.
Wanaenda tu. Sasa msichana akikuja anaulizwa unataka huyu ama huyu, anasema mimi naenda na huyu mrefu. So what do you do?
And look at you now.
I'm like, okay, yeah, sawa hii imeenda. What do you do?
No.
You can't cry. Si unajaribu mwingine. Naye anaenda. I mean, that is how life used to be.
Yes.
Yeah. But it is life. Yeah. It is life. I didn't take it like very seriously.
Yeah.
Of course, it affected me psychologically.
How are you dealing?
Because I was like, okay, why are women not liking me? Is it because I'm short? Those thoughts will come in your mind. And sometimes you will feel like, you'll feel down sometimes. But, there are those good Christian girls who would just come and console you. But also them, you try to get them, they have gone too.
They just console you, but they can't date you.
Yeah. So I did not have a girlfriend in high school. I did not. I think my first girlfriend I got was like when I was in my 20s.
Oh.
Yeah. So high school done. So hapo katikati, when I was like, let me go back a little bit.
It's okay.
When I was class 7, my sister was graduating to go to high school.
Yeah.
When I was joining high school, she had dropped school. Okay?
Yes.
And she got married and she got out. Alikuwa amepata mtoto mmoja, so she wanted to go back to school. And now when I finished high school, my mom couldn't afford to pay me for college and take my sister to high school. So nikamwambia, do this, let her go back to school. Mimi, I will survive. So nikanunuliwa punda. She sold one cow. Kanunua punda, a donkey. Nika approach one of my uncles, nikamwambia anitengeneze ile cart ya kupuliwa na donkeys. So between 2007 and around 2010, that's what I was doing in the village. I was just a donkey rider. Nasaidia watu kubeba mizigo. Nitakuwa Mwangi wa fuda. That's what they called me. So unabebea watu mizigo from the farm to the market. Maybe kuna mtu anahama from one village to another. Because it was the only donkey around. Nilikuwa napata pesa. We, 500.
A lot. That's a lot.
500 per day.
That's a lot.
I was the richest man in that village.
Good.
Ni pesa mingi. But anyway.
Leo umenianza mapema.
So nikabebea watu mizigo. And then we had some friends together. Tulikuwa tunafanya drama.
Yes.
Kwa village. Tunajipanga chalk. Mimi nakuwa ndio baba. Tunatafuta kijana mwingine anavaa kama msichana, anakuwa yeye ndio mama. You know, we play like tunaitwa kwa weddings. You know the village weddings.
Yes.
Yeah, so like 5 village around walikuwa wananijua sana mambo ya drama. And then when schools were almost closing, tunaenda kwa shule, tunacharge watoto wa 5 bob tunawachezea. That is how I survived. And then one of my uncle akakuja akanichukua sasa kutoka Geshagi sasa. Kauliza, do you want to continue this or you want to go to town? Kambia, take me to town. Hata Nairobi nasikianga tu twende. So we came to Ruiru. I learned there is an organization which was here. It was called Focus. Focus meant families and children under stress. That's how Focus meant. So they had a children center for orphans, and they were running some youth programs. Like they were going to the village and sensitize people about malaria, TB, HIV through drama. So they were training people to join the organization.
Yeah.
So they were taking like 10 people for 6 months. They trained them. After 6 months, they let you go.
Yes.
But in my time, after 6 months, they did not let me go. Because during the 6 months, there was a big community drama festival for the community. It was nationally. It was organized by USAID. So the play we had went to the national, and I was the best male actor.
Congratulations.
Okay, so which led them to AFIA. It was like AFIA Plus program in USAID. They gave Focus a good deal for like a 1-year deal to sensitize in the community. So they couldn't let me go. And then they saw maybe I have other skills. Like I was interacting so well with the children at the center. You know, I was training them. I was taking care of them.
Yeah.
So they couldn't let me go.
Yes.
So I stayed there with them, and they taught me a lot of other things now other than just drama. They taught me how to run programs. They taught me how to, that's how I got the idea now of starting the Short Stature Society of Kenya.
Yeah.
Through the skills they gave me, because I went through so many trainings, capacity building trainings, leadership trainings, so many trainings that I couldn't get in the village. So the first thing I would tell people, get out of the village first. Because sometimes whatever you've been doing, you can't change, okay? You have to go and see new things so that you open your mind. So if I just survive with the $500 shillings in the village in my donkey, I would still be there. Yes. So the first thing I did was to move to town. So I came and found other big things.
Yes.
So from there, we started the organization. I met Ruth. During the activities, I met Ruth. She works at the Ministry of Youth in Nairobi. She works for the government. I met her, and we were talking, and she told me, I want to start an organization. Can you come? We meet and start. I told her, yeah. So I joined them. We started the organization. We were like maybe 2 or 3 people, but right now we have more than 1,000 members in the country. So we started that. Now I stopped doing the Focus thing. I left. I now started doing disability awareness, telling people about the dwarfism condition now. So we did that for, I'd say like 5 years. Then I left the country. I got an invitation to go attend a dwarfism awareness conference in the United States. So when there, I saw a very beautiful country, so many opportunities, but sadly I had to come back. My daughter was just born. Okay?
Oh, so umeturukisha,
Because
umeruka, kuna part umeruka haraka turudi. DJ, come on now.
Turudi.
Yes.
Yes.
So you found
So
someone.
in between, I found somebody.
So ulikuwa
Si nimekwambia nilipata dem. Dem?
Yes.
Dem, sasa dem wangu wa kwanza kupata ilikuwa hapo
In your
20s.
20s.
Na sasa hii time naenda US nilikuwa around 27.
Yeah.
So maybe huyo alikuwa dem wangu wa 45. Sikumbuki, alikuwa maybe wa pili hapo watatu.
You kept trying.
I tried. Yes. No, I don't lose hope.
Yeah.
I was looking. So I was in a relationship with a very nice lady.
Yes.
From Tanzania.
Yeah.
And we got a child. Though we are not together anymore,
Okay.
she went back to Tanzania because of the distance. You know, I left.
Yes.
But the best thing, we still co-parent. Actually, my daughter lives with my mom.
Really?
Yes. So she goes school here. She stays with my mom.
Yeah.
Her mother usually visit and go back to her country. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
you
to
are
me-
good co-parenters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. She usually come to visit once in a year or twice.
Yeah.
And my daughter is happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuko sawa sasa.
Sasa
Tuirudi.
tulikuwa hapo. So my daughter was just born because she was born in May 10th and the conference was in July. So she was only like 2 months. So I couldn't stay. I came back. But I saw something in that country. So I knew I would go back and stay. So I made my contacts during the conference. I met one lady. Her name is Peggy. So Peggy, she is like 78 right now. She's a motivational speaker in the United States. She's a short stature woman. So she told me, so when I gave her my story where we came from, she told me, when you want to come back here, let me know. I'm going to pay for your flight.
Wow.
So I knew, okay, flight sorted. So the only thing I need is a host. So during the conference, I met another guy from Haiti. Hii Haiti wanataka kutuma askari huko.
Yeah.
So a guy from there, he's a short stature too. He told me, I can host you for a few months. Come. So I told Peggy. Peggy paid for my flight. So I left my daughter and my baby mama here, and I went. So life started in America. I was in a strange new land. There are so many things you see in America. The first time you got there is different than Kenya. Like the culture is different. People there, they are not like here, where people have a lot of free time. There, everybody is busy.
Always.
It's on the move. So now you start learning. Where do you start? What do you want to do? Definitely you don't have documents to stay there. So that is the first thing. You need to have documents so that you can survive. You know, so that's another story. You know, you have to think about what to do. And then another thing, this guy told me he will stay with me for a few months. So I had to make sure I don't overstay in his house. So you need to know, what do you need to do? But God is good. I survived. I got my documents. And I came home after 2 years. I came home. Sadly, my baby mama now tulikuwa tumeshako sana, alikuwa amerudi. Yeah.
Okay.
So life started. My first job in America, I was a dishwasher. Dishwasher is you go wash, you're in the restaurant, uko nyuma. Watu wakimaliza kukula, unaletewa plates, unaosha. So you even don't see those people. Your work is just to clean. But it is a job. I think I was making like $8 an hour. $8 an hour.
Good money.
Hiyo ni pesa kidogo. America unatumwa vibaya. Lakini Kenya is a lot of money.
Yes.
Because that's right now with the current exchange rate, it's maybe around 1,300 per hour. Now you're doing 8 hours. You're doing 40 hours in a week.
Hey.
So you might think it's a lot of money, but now your apartment in unaishi is $1,500. Ile gari unaendesha inakunywa mafuta na maybe hata iko na payment plan. and you need other stuff like shopping, you need to pay your bills, it's less, so you need more. So I had to look for a second job. Okay, so the second job, now I got a front job. Now I was a server. So I was getting people's orders, I bring them. But English was also another problem. Kizungu ni ngumu.
Ukweli.
Do you know Kizungu unaweza kuwa unaongea Kizungu na akili, lakini hapa kutoka haitoki. Serious?
Kwa akili
iko hapa. Do you know unaweza kaa hivi upeka full speech, but the moment you open your mouth because now they give you like a script. Unakuja unaambia, hey guys, my name is Joakim, I'll be your server today. What can I start you guys with? You know, so unaanza kuwa na unawapea menu waangalie. And then kuna Kizungu ya mzungu, kuna Kizungu ya black, wale African American wamezaliwa huko. Na kuna sasa sisi wengine wenye tumekuja. So they are different.
Ya mzungu inaendanga aje?
Ya mzungu ni mzuri kidogo, at least you can understand.
Ya black Americans.
Ayo wezi. Ayo. There's a thing they can tell you and you don't understand what they've said. Because they have an accent. Yeah. And the people in the South, they talk differently. Like if you go to Chicago in the North, a black person in Chicago speaks differently than a person in Mississippi. They speak differently. But the accent in the Chicago is hard. Yeah. So, adaptation sasa.
Yes.
Alafu sasa gari, mimi Kenya siku wanaendesha gari. So, America lazima uendesha gari. Kama sio hivyo, uende na basi. Na basi maybe inasimamia huko. So, you have to walk. Na basi inaenda after every 30 minutes. So, it's not convenient. Okay? So, you need a car. So, how do you do it? I saw a lot of little people, they drive there. So, I knew I would drive. So, they had pedals extension.
Yes.
So, pedals extension, nikaanza kujifunza kudrive gari. Kwanza nikagongesha. Askari akakuja, nikaona mataa mingi. I was like, did I kill somebody?
This is it.
Yeah. A police come and they check everything. They write a report. And from there, if you are at fault, first of all, unapewa ticket. Alafu dena insurance yako baadaye. Yeah, so everything started. I was on the move. So I left that job. I left it. Wakati nilijua kuendesha gari, nikajua kuna kazi naweza fanya na hii gari yangu, like delivering food for people. So nikajoin hizo apps. Kuna apps like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. Hizo ndio tunatumia huko. So I was doing that.
Hapana Glovo?
Hapana Glovo hakuna.
Okay.
Nikaanza kufanya food delivery. Nikafanya for 1 year. It was paying me good and I'm flexible. First of all, mambo ya documents zangu bado zinaendelea process. Nimepata green card.
Wow.
Nimepata green card. Sasa I can come home easily and go back. I was happy because I had freedom. There's no freedom that a person in abroad has than something that will allow him to go home
and
come back. Makaratasi. So kuna njia mingi of killing a rat there. You can, and don't ask me the one I use because I will not tell you.
Tell us the ways.
But you can go, unaweza olewa huko ama uoe. Unaweza seek asylum. Unaweza sema, you know, there is like kama kuna shida kwenu, like political war, hizo vitu. You can use that. And then kuna hii green card lottery, unaweza cheza hiyo. Kuna work permit, like kuna companies zenye they have a job that no American can do, wanaweza kukuinvite through that. So
jobs no Americans can do? Yeah. Kuna jobs ka hizo?
Maybe you are an engineer. And they have shortage of engineers.
Okay.
Like nurses, they have an agency. The only agency I know inaendeaga watu from like Africa ni ya nursing. Because there's a shortage of nurses in America.
Okay.
So watakupea like a work permit na visa, utakuwa unaenda home na unarudi. Pia kuna job za cruise. Wale watu wanaendaka kwa cruise, you can be a waiter in the cruise. So hizo unapewa a visa. Kwa sababu all your lifetime uko kwa sea, but kuna time uko kwa land. So you need a visa for that country. So those ways.
Okay.
So that process was still going on as I hustle. Sikwambi. So
mi na guess. Okay.
Wewe guess tu.
Tusonge.
So nikatoka hapo. Nikawacha mambo ya delivery. hizo niliacha food, nikaingia Uber kubeba watu. That was the best job I've ever seen. Actually, that one is the one that made me now start thinking of trucking. Kwa sababu you're interacting with a lot of people. Unabeba mshosho, anaenda hospitali. Unapata immigrants from other countries, wanakupea their story about their countries. Like kuna somebody nilimbeba wa kutoka India. Akaniambia amekuwa America for 80 years. Alikuja huko akiwa mtoto mdogo. But there is no year hajaienda kwao nyumbani. Unaona? So what does that tells you? Home is home. Like you have to go home every time you get if you get a chance, go home and see your people. Okay? So nikafanya Uber for another like maybe 1 year. Kubeba watu. Then nikiwa kwa njia naona trucks and I'm like, okay. Because for me, I wanted a job where I'm serving people. I love talking to people. I love service delivery. So I can't join military. I cannot. If I had a chance, I would have joined military. But I saw I can't join military. So now I can drive. How about I try to get a commercial license and drive trucks? So the school I went to, they told me they don't think I can be allowed. They have never seen anybody who is a short stature who is a truck driver. So wakaniambia, go first of all, get a physical, a medical report. You have to get a medical assessment by a chiropractor mwenye anakuangalia your physical fitness. Akikupea go ahead, now you can go to school. Because I told them, if I can drive this car, why can't I drive this truck? And it's an automatic like this car. They said, oh, there's a lot of... I told them, no, everything you're saying, I can do it. Just tell me, all I need is a stool and pedals. So they told me, okay, go get your scholarship and your medical. I came back with them. Ndio nione kama watakataa. So then they introduced me to the trainer now. So the trainer saw me and he asked me, tell me you did not come here to learn truck driving. I told him, I'm here. He said, okay, I will make sure you've got your CDL.
Wow.
It's a very long and tedious process. You have to go do your tests. Zinakuwa test kama 8. Kwa sababu they are the 4 which are, no, 3, they are compulsory. You have to do a combination. General knowledge, combination. Combination is because you're driving a truck and trailer vehicle. It's a combination. And air brakes, because it works, that truck has an air brake system. So you have to, those ones are compulsory. You have to pass the tests. And then you need some endorsement. Either hazmat, if you want to haul hazardous material, or a tanker, if you want to haul food. So I had to do that. And you pass. Nilianguka kila moja. Kila moja, unaanguka. But the best thing, if you fail one, if you pass one, you don't repeat it. So nikajua, oh, okay. So I can go, nasomea moja, nakuja nikipita, natia hapo. Kwa sababu nilienda ati nifanye zote pamoja, nikaanguka ya kwanza. Nikaenda mara ya pili, nikaanguka tena.
Ukajua plan.
Nikapita ya kwanza, nikaanguka ya pili. So vile nilirudi, hakunipea ya kwanza. Na nilikuwa nimeisomea. Because I thought narudia. Akaniambia, no, you don't do the one you pass, you continue.
Yes.
Hata sikufanya hiyo siku. Nikarudi nyumbani, nikaanza kusomea moja. Nikapita zote sasa, nikamaliza. Then I went back to school. Sasa kwa shule kuna test sasa zingine mingi zile ngumu sasa. Now those are now the real life. So the first time I got in that truck, it is very long. It's sasa truck and trailer yote ni 60 feet. So ukiangalia nyuma hata uone nyuma ni wapi. Nilikuwa namwambia, I think I made a mistake. Let me go back and do Uber. Because that thing was very long. I didn't know it would be this long and tall. But akaniambia, don't worry, I'll show you how to do it. So the only trick is to know a tractor ni ile kichwa na trailer zilikosana kitambo. They don't work together. So if the trailer you want it to go right, you have to take the trailer left. just that, you know, the movement.
Zilikuwa-
Yeah, that's what he told me.
Yes.
Aliambia, you see this tractor and this
Yeah.
trailer is a white guy.
Yes.
And he knew I'm from Africa. So you have to explain an African man like a kid. So you see this trailer. You see this trailer and this tractor, they divorced. They don't go together. So if you want this one to go right, this one will go left. Kwa sababu aliona sishikanishi. Ilikuwa ngumu. Like the first week, it was very hard. But then, sasa nikajua. Nikakuwa niko sawa. So nikaenda test. Test ni 3. First one is a pre-trip test. You have to know every part of that tractor and trailer. Ufungue bonnet. Everything that is there, lazima ujue. This is a transmitter. This is a radiator. This is an alternator. These are the brake systems. This is everything. You have to know everything on the right and the left. Hadi yuko nyuma. And the lightings. Alafu in-cab. Sasa hapo kwa dereva. Gauge zote. Kama ni air primary na secondary air gauge. Unaangalia. Unajua mambo ya oil, ya water, everything. And then you do a brake test pump. Like a air brake test. You have to show everything to a trainer. Na kona points. Anaandika tu. If you miss anything, sasa anatika hapo. And then sasa anakupea your scores. Ukipita hiyo, that is the hard. I would say that is the hardest. Because you have to make sure you cram everything.
Kila kitu.
And you understand. Kwa sababu hata anaweza kuuliza, unaweza mention kitu, maybe kama alternator. Alafu akustopisha kuuliza, what is an alternator? What does it do?
In alternate.
So you have, in alternating. Sasa you have to explain everything. Unaona? Haya, upite hapo. Sasa nikapita hiyo. Hiyo ingine ni backing maneuver. Sasa lazima you show them how to back. Because at the end of the day, every day you have to back in a door. Uko uingiagi hivi, lazima uende uingie kwa mlango.
Oh, you park.
No, kwa mlango yenye wanatoa mizigo. Sasa lazima uonyeshe. So you have to do a 90 degrees, a 360 na 45 uonyeshe vile inafanywa. Na you park that, unapark parallel. Okay? Na ingine tunaitanga alley dock. Hizo zote lazima uonyeshe trainer. Na kwa hapo umepewa just a few attempts. It's not like in real life where you can do 100. Here wanakupea just a few. If you use all of them, you have to go and come back again. Hiyo nilianguka. Mara ngapi? Mara 3. So why am I saying this? Kwa sababu you can fail in something one time, but you should not lose hope. Go back again. If you fail a second time, you have learned something from it. Go and try again.
Yes.
Na kama, if you really want that, you have to keep on punching so that you get it. So nilianguka mara ngapi? Mara 3. Hiyo ingine ni simple juu ni over the road. Sasa wanakupeleka kwa barabara, you read the road signs. You know, don't go through a red sign.
Yes.
Ukienda through hiyo sasa umeanguka. Usiende kwa cab. Vitu kama hizo sasa. And then from there, I passed the test. They gave me my license, you know, from Ohio State. It's a commercial license. That is a responsibility. You're not the same like any other driver who has a driving license. That is, you've become a professional driver. You're now a professional driver. It is and everything else on the road is in your hands. Even those people who have cars. Because some of them, they are not even normal. Yeah. So now, I got my first job in the company that I have.
Yes.
So those people, they really loved me. They did a story. They have a lot of blogs they've done about me. It's called US Express. So they trained me. They gave me a new truck, a brand new truck.
Come on.
So it was last year. So it's a 2023 Cascadia P4 Freightliner. A new truck. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So the rest is history. Here I am.
Hey,
Yes.
hapa ndio tuko.
Hapa ndio tuko. Sasa ni kung'ang'ana. Kuingia kwa barabara, make sure everything is okay. Yeah.
How is the job?
It's tiresome. It's one you're alone in the truck. So there's that boredom. But, you know, you can always be on the phone with family and friends. But it's a wanting job. I usually work 70 hours in a week. Okay?
Na
So
nawa ni
you,
pesa
so you
ngapi?
have as a company driver you're paid with experience. So ule mtu amejoin haezi lipwa na ule mtu akona 3 years, never. He's a rookie, so yeye analipwa kidogo. Okay, ni enough, but haezi lipwa hata mimi yenye nalipwa sio yenye mtu mwenye ako 4 years analipwa. So every year your pay rise.
Yes.
Every year. So most of the company wanaanza na around maybe 55 cent per mile ama 60 cent per mile. Nilianzishwa na 60
hiyo ni per mile.
Per mile.
Mlipangu per hour?
Hapana.
Okay.
So huko ni different. Huko ni zile mali umeenda. Yeah, so maybe an average day I usually go like 550, 600 miles.
Nilisikia by the way kuna venye hiyo kitu inaweza jilock usiendeshe any longer.
No, haiwezi jilock, but you have a clock. So there is something called the DOT, Department of Transportation of America. Sasa hao sasa ndio kama NTSA ya huko, but hao ndio wana manage clocks. It's not even your company. So you have a computer there that has your clock. You should plan your day. In a day you have 14 hours to work. Okay? During that 14 hours you can only drive for 11 hours, so the rest is for breaks. But you cannot drive more than 8 hours non-stop. That's the rule. So you have to take a 30 minutes break on your first 8 hours. But the whole day you have 14 hours to work, but you can only drive for 11 hours. So if you break that, you're in violation. Yeah, which can lead you to termination of your CDL. Yes.
How are the accident rates huko za truck? Okay, cause
the trucks
here unaweza kuunaenda then uone tu truck imeinama, then uende kidogo another one. Na watu husema drivers hukuanga wamechoka maybe sana.
That is why, like kitambo they used something called paper logs. Wako na computer, so ulikuwa unapata mtu anaisha 16 hours. So huyo mtu hata akikosa accident hata hajui kwa sababu amelala kwa barabara. So sisi juu tuko na hiyo clock na ni reasonable, so you can't overwork yourself. Na tunaambiagwa if you feel dizzy you can pull over and sleep
anywhere,
kwa sababu gari yangu iko na kila kitu. Iko na kitanda, iko na fridge, iko na mahali pa kupikia, iko na kila kitu that you need on the road. Okay, so there is a rest areas on most of the freeways. There is a rest area after every 30 miles.
Yes.
Go there and take a 30 minutes break, nap, rudi kwa barabara. So accidents are there. You know, there are still people who are crazy. They will make mistakes. We are human. People are bound to make mistakes. But I don't think it's very high rate. Hapana. Huko watu wako more accurate. Yeah. And then repercussions are harder. Kwa sababu kule everything is there on the computer. Hiyo gari yangu iko monitored by the company. Wanajua nikimake a U-turn which is illegal, watajua. Niko na cameras everywhere na sensors. Niko na radar. Like naweza jua ile gari iko mbele yangu inaenda na speed gani. Kwa hivyo kama niko kwa maybe kwa mahali ni 65 miles per hour na naenda 65 maximum, na ile gari iko mbele yangu inaenda 55, nafaa kujua juu itaniambia ile inaenda 55. Ni change lane nimpite. Nikimkaribia atina tailgate, hiyo ni violation. Company itaangalia ione huyu mtu alikuwa na tailgate, mbona alikuwa na tailgate, atakupigia because they want you to follow the law. Yes. Uki overspeed kama ni 55, like me nilipata, I got a ticket on my first year because I was in a construction zone. It's a 55 zone, 55 miles per hour, na gari ilikuwa inashuka kwa mteremko ilikuwa 69. Kuna polisi aliniona. So 69 on a 55, that is bad. But me sikujua, sikuangalia gari, iliteremka tu na niko na mzigo. So me I thought juu nime cruise 55, I'm still okay. Akani pull over. Na akanionyesha ulikuwa 69. So I got a ticket na I got a fine kwa sababu ilikuwa construction zone. A lot of money. Yes.
The fine is...
And that ticket will stay in your record for 3 years.
Before it's erased.
Yes, so it will affect your insurance and also your company. They might put you in probation ama wakuweke kwa ile kategoria if you do another thing you can be fired. Luckily I was a rookie, so they allow a little bit of some mistakes. But if I do that with my 2 years experience, I will be fired.
You'll be fired.
Yes.
What keeps you going ukiwa huko?
Responsibilities that I have. There's a lot of responsibilities. So I have a family here to feed. My mom is here, my sister is here, my daughter. I have to keep on pushing. And now you have another, you want to do investments here and there. Yeah.
Unafanya hapa investments?
Hapa nafanya.
Nini mnaogopanga mkiwa huko about investing here?
Unajua ni maybe watu wenu kukuibia vitu zako. Unajua wale watu wanatuma tu pesa blindly. But me, I don't do that. I always come home to invest for myself. Yes. Yeah.
You come and invest.
You do it on yourself, yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't get lonely sometimes, relationships?
It does. Kwa sababu actually most of the truck drivers, their families don't really stand. Like for me, when I want to settle down now, I don't think I will have already maybe bought my own truck na nipe mtu akuwa ananiendeshea. Yeah.
You won't do
because you don't want to be far from your family for a very long time. Like Mimi, I usually go home like after 2 months. That's when I go to my apartment. Because I'm on the road. Yeah, I'm on the road. And unajua kwa barabara, there is everything. You go see friends in different towns. So you can decide, okay, in my next home time, which I usually go 3 weeks out, 3 days home. I don't have to go back home to my hometown every time. So I go to Seattle. I see my friend Philip. The next time, after 3 weeks, I'll go to California. So you just tell your manager, on my last load, when I'm going home, take me to California. Take me to Boston. Take me wherever. They take you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is the money good?
It's worth it. Money is never enough. Wewe ile pesa unameka hapa ni mzuri.
Pesa gani?
Unasikia? But ukitajia mtu atasema hii Lynn anapata hiyo pesa yote.
Lynn mgani?
Yeah. But wewe ukiulizwa it's not enough.
Yes.
But
I love that concept.
Ainifungi. Yeah, ainifungi atasa hii pesa itawaitosha. So when you have time to rest. If you have time to go mingle with your friends, go. If you go spend time with your family. Yeah. Usijifunge.
Okay.
Yeah. Nimeona watu wako huko, unapata mtu wako huko for 40 years. Alienda huko 40 years, amekuwa Amerika. Hajaenda kuja Kenya. Hata hakumbuki watu wao wako wapi. I would not want to be like that. I want to be different. Yeah, that's why I always come home.
Good, eh?
Yeah.
And I like that you said, usiwai ona, I like to, the way you wai siwai kublock from your blessings.
Yes. Yeah. And then usijidharau, like for me, mi nasemaga, unaona ningeanza kujidharau, I'm short. Mungu mbona aliniumba hivi? Nashinda kwa nyumba, mama yangu ndiye ananitekea care. I don't want to go out. I'm fearing like what people will say. That one did not stop me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, atakuwa mrefu aje. Watu watakuangalia tu differently. For me, it's people who remind me I'm short. When I see them taking pictures behind my back. But for me, I'm just a normal person. I am doing my own things. Until I see them laughing at me, then I remember, oh, I'm short. Yeah, that's why they're laughing.
Even there?
Yes, even there. The best thing with there, people are a little bit civilized. Discrimination is everywhere.
Yeah.
People will see you differently. And I don't blame them because you have eyes which should see the difference between white and black, tall and... It's okay, but your reaction
is what matters.
So you will still see some behaviors with people. I can usually play games with them. Let me tell you, the only thing I do, I play games.
Yeah.
Naweza ingia kwa supermarket. Tunazitanga stores huko. Kizungu ya Amerika ni ngumu. Imagine store, huku store ni mahali unaweka chakula.
Yes.
Huko store ni kwa supermarket. Okay? What? Yeah. So, shop ni mahali unapeleka gari kwa mechanic. Hapa shop ni mahali unaenda kununua unga.
Yes.
So ukiambia mtu ati ukiwa hapa upigie mtu wako huko mwambie I'm going to the shop, anafikiria ni gari imeharibika.
Yeah.
Kumbe unaendea nyanya. So so mimi ucheza games la wao. Nikiingia kwa supermarket, sasa naona mtu, definitely my instincts are right. Everybody who has a kind of disability, they have instincts to help them survive.
Yes.
So for me, mimi nikitembea hivi, hata kabla sija kuangalia nitajua what you're doing. because ni kitu nimekuwa nayo for my lifetime. So najuanga ametoa simu, ako kwa kamera, inaniangalia, lakini hataki nione.
Yes.
So napiga chuom. Aya, na najua ataenda hivyo anifuate. Napita pande hii, namfuata nyuma. Ananiona niko nyuma yake. Unaona? Aya, akienda kuturn, nazunguka, najua atanifuata. You just play game with them.
Another ghost.
Play game. Lakini bibi sita react nikuja nikunyang'anya simu. Why are you recording me? We cause drama for nothing. Let's play a game, man.
Yes.
Yeah, alafu mimi niende zangu.
Unatokea mtu.
Yeah.
Pata nightmares.
And then yeah. Na najuanga tu. Me I know. Hata najuanga naendaka kwa customer kupeleka mzigo.
Yes.
Wananiona nimekuja nimeleta bills, karatasi nimewachia hapo. So one thing, when you go to a customer, you go through security. Au ni wengine, they are on a different level. They think they own the whole place because they are the ones letting you in and out. But hawanaga shida sana. Kwa ofisi unapeleka makaratasi, wanaambia hey, I'm here for delivery. Wanakuangalia, wanashindwa okay, huyu jamaa ametumwa na driver ama ni ameleta. So watakufuata baadaye. Najuanga tu watanifuata because of curiosity. But then najua atatoa simu. So nikiturn nitampata off guard. Anajifanya anachukua simu. So ukiangalia hapa unaona button ya kamera kwa screen. So I just enjoy how people become creative trying to fake.
Yes.
So that makes me happy. Yeah.
Let's play games.
Yeah, we play games.
Oh man, you accept.
Yeah. Ama naenda kuweka gari mafuta kwa fuel island ya trucks. So unaona mtu anapita, alikuwa anaenda kwa store huko kwa shop, sasa hiyo shop ya huko. So anaenda hivyo, akipita anaona aya, huyu si yule jamaa wa TikTok kama whatever, huyu ni jamaa mshote. Amepita, alafu unaona amerudi hivi haraka. So unajua huyo alikuwa anataka kuconfirm, lakini sasa akirudi kwenda atakuja na kamera kama ina kuonyesha. Narudi kwa truck. Anakuja na kamera yake, ananitafuta hanioni. Mimi niko tu kwa gari na muangalia. You just laugh. Yeah. Kwa sababu at the end of the day, by the way, let me tell you, Lynn, and I can bet this, in America, niko kwa simu za watu wengi kuliko Joe Biden. Honestly. That one I can bet. Niko kwa simu za watu wengi more than Joe Biden.
That's a fact.
Yes. I know. But it's because of what I'm doing. Everything I'm doing is very, like, it's
new.
It's new and inspiring. People,
Yes, it is.
People are, they want to know.
Even me, I was really
Curious.
inspired. I was so curious.
Yeah, but I'm happy I'm doing that because I'm breaking the barriers.
Good.
And telling people you can do this.
Yes.
So right now, I would say there are like maybe 4 or 5 people who have approached me, little people in America, and I've told them the process.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just tell them how.
Yeah,
to
you are
do it.
making lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
How do you want to be remembered? What legacy are you looking into leaving behind?
The legacy, maybe the lives I changed. Yeah. And the hope that I gave to people.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to build a castle to be remembered for that. But just touch 1 or 2 lives. It is important.
I even saw the way you were chilling with your people
My
here.
people here. I was sijai watupa. No, and if I get opportunities there for them,
You get beautiful.
I go. Nilikuwa nimepeleka Sonko na Mwangi, Germany. We went for the World Dwarf Games
Yes.
in Cologne, Germany.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
In August 2023. We were there
How was it?
with them. It was good. We were more than 5,000 little people.
Yeah.
Ilikuwa World Dwarf Games.
They
It's
enjoyed?
like Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah.
They learned so much. So if you see such opportunities, you tell them,
Good.
come.
Good. Eh?
And they have a soccer team now.
Yeah. How old is your daughter?
She's 7 now.
She's 7.
Yeah.
If she watches Daddy
Yeah.
in like 10 years' time,
Yeah.
what would you want to tell her?
I would tell her to live the best life she can. Because this world is a cruel world. And nobody likes you. Okay? And nobody likes you because of what you're doing. But the only thing you can do is live the moment that you have right now and live it to the best. Because if you expect people to make you happy, they will not. No. Like for me, I don't expect the world to love me. I expect the world to laugh at me, to mock me, because that is how that is how,
They are conditioned.
yes. Because here, if I see somebody laughing at me, I don't judge them, because that is them. That is their real character. Wakikuja kukuchekesha, probably they are faking it. So you'd rather let them show you the ugliest world, and so that you know how to deal with them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't expect people to love you.
No. Don't expect people to love you.
You expect them to laugh at you and mock you.
And mock you. That is what will make you now want to prove yourself that you're not what they think. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And don't give up. Don't give up. Right now, life is very hard everywhere.
Even
the
huko?
economy. Yes.
Huko mna struggle na tax?
Tax man yako everywhere. Huko wakwetu watumuiti Zakayo. Tunamuita Uncle Sam.
Huko anaitwa Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're in the right side of Uncle Sam. Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, tax is everywhere.
But is it as hard as it is here right now?
People have to pay tax. Like if I show you my pay slip, I usually pay federal tax. Federal ni the national government. And I pay state tax. The state that I live in, I have to pay tax. Na hiyo wanakata direct. Okay? And then many other things. Yeah.
So it's
because you have to pay tax, everything. So the funny thing, unaenda kwa duka hapa, kama ni hii maji ikiwekwa hapo, wekewe $4. Hiyo $4 ni before tax. Everything on the shop is before tax. So if you see it's $4, just know you'll pay like $4.50. Yeah.
It's not included.
No, they don't put on the shop, on the list, on the price list. It doesn't say tax. Everything, it doesn't say tax. So you can, yeah. So everything is before tax.
Yeah.
But wakikupea risiti, unaona wamekata tax. But they don't, the best thing, they don't tax food. Okay? So ukienda kwa grocery shopping, unachukua nyanya, unachukua unga, unachukua mzinga. Okay? So
hiyo combination imepata off guard.
Unachukua nyanya, unachukua unga, unachukua mzinga. So kwa risiti, wacha kucheka.
Unataxiwa mzinga tu.
Kwa risiti, utaona mzinga tu ni imetolewa tax. So kama mzinga ulikuwa umenunua $16,
Yes.
imekuja 17. Lakini nyanya kama ziko za $5, ni $5.
Okay.
So food, they don't charge.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually it's very clear.
Yeah.
Like zile vitu umelipia tax na zile hujalipia kwa receipt.
Na tax inafanya
Kwa sababu
mambo hata ukikata.
yes, kwa sababu hata hiyo store
Yes.
hizo nyanya mahali ilinunua haikulipa tax.
So
Umeelewa?
they can tax it.
Yes.
Maybe we should do that also.
Yeah, on the food. Like
Yes.
food. Unga mbona iko 200? Mbona iko 200?
Si watasema maybe wanataxiwa vitu za kupackage.
Si unga, si Kitale wanapanda mahindi. Hiyo mahindi inasiagwa, inawekwa kwa karatasi. Unalipa hiyo karatasi kuprintiwa. Yeah. But anyway, that money goes to the government. So you expect the more you're paying, you should get services.
Good services.
So my truck, I don't think my truck can drive here. It's very low because barabara za huko,
They are good.
they are smooth everywhere. Mimi kiatu sioshangi. Kiatu natumianga inaisha natupa bila kuosha. Why? Sikanyagi mchanga. Unaona? So that means roads,
Your
good
tax is
pavements,
working.
Tax is working.
And I feel like the reason people have a problem with taxes is if they can't see where the tax
services.
is. Like it's raining in Kenya right now.
Yeah.
Have you seen how
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
things look?
Yes. Karibu tukwame pale. Yeah. But anyway, tuache mambo ya tax.
Tuache mambo ya
Tuachane
tax,
nayo,
si ndio?
tuachane nayo.
Asante sana. Kuna kitu ungetaka kuongeza kabla tufunge show?
Hapana, sitaki kuongeza kitu. I just want, don't give up.
Yes.
In this world, the worst thing you can do with your life is giving up. Hata wale watu wanafeel wamefika mwisho ya maisha. Imagine there is something you can do with your life.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu the more once you commit suicide, you're gone. But the problems you had, umeachia your children.
Yeah.
Like you're a mother of 3. You feel like it's the end of the world. You kill yourself. Nani ataachiwa watoto? Unaona?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Salimia watu wangu wa US.
Tawasalimia wote.
Waambie tuonane next.
Na ukuja.
Nakam.
Yeah.
Tuonane next year.
Yes.
Yes, utanipea track.
Maybe ukikuja nitakuwa na track 2 ama 3.
Niende na moja maraundi.
Nikupeleke maraundi yuko.
Yes.
Uone.
Yeah.
And they follow me on my YouTube.
Waambie.
Katuosis tracking.
Good.
Na TikTok.
Jina kubwa pale
Katuosis
TikTok.
Tracking. Yeah,
Yes.
Katuosis tracking. Yeah, unifollow.
Good.
Follow me there. Tutaongea hapo. In case wako na maswali, I'll answer them.
I'll answer. Yeah. Someone posted a challenge to me wakaniambia. Kabla niache guest aende nimuulize ni nani mwingine ungetaka kuona kwa show.
Nani mwingine ungetaka kuona kwa show?
Yeah.
Mwenye hajai kuja kwa show yako?
Hata kasha wewe sema tu off the head off.
Let me think.
Yeah.
Nataka kuona hapo. No, call my people. The soccer team.
Good.
Yeah.
You wanna see them on the show?
And go to where they train.
Yeah.
Wanatrainia pale YMCA. Watu waone wakicheza mpira.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that will be also an inspiration.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
For you.
Wanaitwa the Lion Stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Lion Stars.
Najua kuna Harambee Stars, the Starlets.
Yes.
Hawa ni the Lion Stars.
Lion Stars.
Yeah.
Good. Who else?
Who else? Who else do I want? Ita ule jamaa anaitwa kuna jamaa anaitwa Mbote. Unajua Mbote? Mbote Njogu. He's a TikTok fanatic.
I'll look at it.
Yeah.
Mbote Njogu. Got you.
Mwite.
Sawa.
Mlete hapa.
Kuja kunidai kama stafanya. Sawa.
Huyo jamaa anaongeaga tu, but what he's speaking is sense.
It's sense.
Yeah.
Kwani ule wa duka?
Hapana, sio huyo wa duka.
Okay.
Huyo anaongeaga tu mambo zingine tu, but the real life.
Tamtafuta.
Nakwambia leo ni Friday. Kama hajakuja wewe lala. Hakuji. Sasa zile mambo ukweli.
Nakwambia real life.
Yeah.
Mbote Njogu.
Utafute.
Our Lion Stars.
Yeah, the Lion Stars.
Wish granted.
Nashukuru sana.
Me too,
Thank you so
man.
much for coming.
Me too.
You're always welcome.
Yes.
Every time.
Thank you for being incredible.
Yes, thank you.
When I'm true.
Thank you.
Kai msi.
Yeah, you have to be true.
Sasa.
Usijifanye.
Wasijifanya, si ndio?
Yeah,
I appreciate
just be
it. Alafu nikutume huko majuu.
Yes.
Siwaambie unajua hii kazi lazima nichape.
Yeah.
So siwaambie wakitaka kukam home watafute ma apartments hivyo.
Yes.
Waongee na watu wangu wa Kings Developers Limited.
Yes. Na pia hata mimi utanipeleka huko. So
Hayacha
because I know you.
Yes.
So definitely what you're selling is legit.
Oh, thank you.
So I'd even tell our people in diaspora what
Yes.
if you come to Kenya, look for Lynn and look for the Kings Developers.
Wala hiyo part natumia CEO wao waache kucheza na mimi.
Yes.
Si ndio?
Yes.
Endo waambie wakamu wabuy apartments.
Yes.
Ni vitu legit.
Okay.
Na ziko na bei poa.
Okay.
Mimi nimeshukuru.
Yes.
God akubless.
Yes.
Ukienda huko majuu fanya kazi kabisa.
Yeah.
Endelea, umenipea kitu moja naenda nayo home, a positive mentality. That's for me, that's my take home.
Yes.
A positive mentality. Si ndio?
Nothing is too big. That is my slogan. Nothing is too big.
Yeah.
Yes.
Favorite song?
My favorite song.
Yes.
Mimi ni mtu wa mimi unajua niko na artistic ear. So I listen to everything.
Okay.
Like when I'm driving,
Yes.
Early in the morning, I usually listen to like gospel worship. I always start my day with a prayer.
Okay.
Because I usually believe there's a God. Hata watu, when they believe there's no God, there are people who believe there's no God. I am sure there's God in
There's
heaven.
God.
Everything you see here
It
was made by God.
Good.
Later in the day, when I want my spirit now higher, I will listen to reggae or mogithi. Huko majioni nasikiza wakamba wetu.
Okay. Okay. Chatufunge.
But my favorite,
Yes.
Samido.
Ni Samido.
Samido.
Pokee basi salamu
Samido.
zake.
Yeah.
Shukran kaka.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you.
Na God akupe tracks on tracks on tracks, si ndio?
Amen.
Watu wangu, situonane kesho 10 am. Watu wanatafuta manyumba, go tembeleni Kings Developers Limited. My team Muga, najua nauliza lini nyama choma tutakula sangi kubaya. Edgar man, asante sana. Nyinyi ndio mnajua tumekapitia hii wiki. Joshua, thank you so much. And of course the other team members at LNN, God our bless. Tuonaneni kesho 10 am. Wallahi, na kama unawachi channel yetu without having subscribed, please subscribe. Get us to 1 million subscribers. That's the best gift you guys can ever give me. Yeah? Na God our bless. Bye-bye.
The process. One day your life is gonna change. Keep on believing. You will be better than before. So trust the process.